So the Indiana Fever yesterday decided to release Kyra Lambert, and the reason why I want to talk about this is because there are speculations out there where Caitlin Clark might be coming back, and we know that they're very thin at the guard position because Colson's out, McDonald's out, and the news broke about Sophie Cunningham missing the rest of the regular season. That leaves you with Odyssey Sims, who just got there. You've got that Kelsey Mitchell, and that's it. So you have to wonder, are the Fever ramping up to get Clark back? And could they be going after somebody else? Maybe like a Kennedy Carter. She's a bucket getter. She can score. And maybe that will help the guard position. And people are probably wondering, is Clark going to come back sooner rather than later? That's great because I would love to see Caitlin Clark play basketball again. My only concern is, can she stay healthy and can you avoid some questionable calls? Because we know the WNBA is out of control with the refs. Sophie Cunningham has talked about it. She keeps getting fined on her podcast. It's just crazy. She can make an opinion about something. The league still fines her. They actually fined her the other day for a statement she made about Paige Beckers. And it's like, come on, you guys are ridiculous at this point. So for me right now, the Fever sit at 19-16. And they got to play the Lynx the next two games. They don't play till Friday. So maybe Clark comes back on Friday. Maybe on Sunday she makes her return. And then you have her back in the lineup. But at this point, do you want to have Clark return? Because if they lose to Minnesota twice in a row, then they lose to Seattle, you got Los Angeles and the Valkyries. At that point, should you even be worried about making the playoffs? Maybe they're out of the playoff picture by then anyways. I mean, that is a possibility. They're 19-16, and the Storm aren't too far back. The Valkyries are right on them, and they have the tiebreaker. I believe if they win, they would have the tiebreaker over the Fever. And then the Sparks are right there. The Sparks have played great basketball, and they definitely have their number against the Indiana Fever. They'd be up for that game. So yeah, I just don't know what the Fever do here. It does have me wondering, should they even consider bringing back Caitlin Clark, especially with the way this regular season is going now. If Odyssey Sims, she's a bucket getter, starts contributing, she's going to get a bigger role down the stretch. You expect her to get more playing time. If she can get her rhythm going, then maybe they can make up for some of that loss. But again, she's a dominant guard. She's not a playmaker. She can go out here and score, but you need playmakers to set you up for success. Mitchell and Odyssey Sims are redundant, and that's fine. She can come with the bench, be that spark plug. But it just gets harder as you mount these injuries. It doesn't get any easier. And I just don't know. Like at this point, I'm not sure if you want to bring back Caitlin Clark, if this is part of the plan for the Fever to ramp her up this week and get her ready for the Lynx. Now, again, if they go out there and win back-to-back against the Lynx, I highly doubt it because Minnesota, to me, seems like the team to beat this year. We'll see because the Liberty, I'm not counting them out right now. They're actually beating the Lynx by 5. We'll see if they hold on. But I'm not counting out the Liberty. They're the champs. You can have a decent regular season and still win the championship. So the Lynx look good, though, no doubt about it. But again, if they can find a way to win those 2 games and Clark is back, then you can start seeing a possibility where you make a push towards the playoffs and you can have a good first round, maybe win a playoff series, and you call it a success. That is not likely, in my opinion, because you lose so much depth. You lost Cunningham, McDonald's out. I mean, you have a lot of your key role players out for the rest of the season. That's hard to overcome. And you're hoping that Odyssey Sims can fill some of that. I'm not saying she can't. She can score the basketball and she can help, put the ball on the floor, get you some baskets. But again, you're relying on a player who hasn't, learned the system yet. She's still adapting. Maybe she'll catch on fast because she's a veteran, but I just don't know, especially when you don't have enough playmaking on this team. Like, what is the lineup going to look like on Friday if Clark is not playing? That's going to be really ugly basketball. So for me, like, I just don't know at this point. Should you bring back Caitlin Clark? It's tough because I know Clark wants to get out there and prove herself after the shooting slump she went through. Some of that is due to injury and just not shooting the ball well. But again, is it worth it? Especially if something happens to her, God forbid, and she's out for next season. So the Indiana Fever organization has to play their cards carefully here. I would wait maybe until after the 5-game stretch coming up. It's going to be very, very difficult for the Fever. Like, you have a team and the Lynx, and then you got to deal with the Storm who are fighting for a playoff spot, and the Sparks and Valkyries have your number. So is it worth it? And then you got to go to Phoenix. I just don't know. It's tough to say, but we know Clark's competitive and she's going to go out there and give it her all. We know the Fever are resilient as a team, and they found a way to beat the Sun. I know the Sun aren't good, but Mitchell was phenomenal in that game. So if they can ride the ship and be in that sixth spot, and Clark can return, maybe. I just don't know. It's tough to make a legit reason, especially when the majority of your depth is gone. If you're bringing Kennedy Carter, cool, but again, more redundancy. You're going to have some scoring power out there, but you have Carter and Sims and Mitchell all do the same thing. So if Sims and Mitchell are coming off the bench and neither one are known to be that point guard, then their role changes. So at this point, it just feels like a lost season. If they prove me wrong, great. But I would just be very careful with Caitlin Clark right now, especially like seeing how things are playing out with these injuries and the refs being out of control. I would just maybe consider playing for next season. If you want to bring her back, great, but just make sure you protect her and have her on a minutes restriction if you're not trying to play for the playoffs, and just have Caitlin Clark out there put on a show. That's fine, but just be mindful that you're looking towards the future and doing some retooling this offseason. I think what the Fever need to look at is adding more versatile bigs. I love Aaliyah Boston. I think she's great for this roster, but I think they need less redundancy in that position. Doncic is great, but she's not very fast, not very versatile. Natasha Howard's 33 years old. She's getting up there in age. I think she's been great, but they need some young, versatile, big women out there who can guard or just be able to hold their own with these guards and forwards and be able to score in bunches, shoot the three ball, and have more versatility. If you're just one dimensional, if you can't play defense, you're slim pickings. So we shall see how this all plays out. They do lack a lot of playmaking right now, and they lost one of their best players in Sophie Cunningham. So it's just going to be tough to overcome this. Hope you guys enjoyed this video today. I'd love to hear your thoughts about if Caitlin Clark is coming back sooner rather than later. Would you bring her back? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.